とか資料と呼べそうなものを集めてみました。
Honoka passed out copies of everything we had gathered from old members, Nishihai, and the internet. You could hardly call it proof of Hoshinonaka's bright sky from before. Hikari and I scowl as we look through the materials.
こんな断片的な資料じゃ何の根拠にもならないよ。
Yeah. We will just have to appeal to their emotions. Even though I said that, it didn't really sit right with me. Being engaged in the science of astronomy, it felt like if we had to appeal to emotions, then we weren't going about it the right way. I mean, science, right? Science likes to be about facts and all that shit. So, yeah. to then appeal to emotion is kinda strange. Besides, if all we had were emotions to go off of, then we would hardly be getting any real evidence, and Harbor Town was unlikely to reconsider.
これを資料だって言って提出するくらいなら諦めた方がいいと思う。
Hikari said this with a pained face. You're right. It would reflect badly on us if we went ahead at this point, especially if the Six Stars Club wanted to contribute to the advancement of astronomy in Hoshinonaka. Oh man. We sighed and sat heavily in our chairs. Today each school was doing their own thing, but Honoka and Hikari had come to our room as always. But Corona had taken the day off. I wonder why, Corona? She had said that there was something she had to do, and had gone home early.
さやもコロナもいないと静かだね。
It's kind of like the perfect thing, right? That Corona, or that Saya is staying over at Corona. Cause like, maybe if Saya and some other girl didn't show up, you start to think like, hey, maybe Saya's at that girl's house? But because Corona, we sort of know like, oh, Corona doesn't like Saya, you just automatically assume like, oh, even if those two aren't present, you're not gonna think like, hey, could Saya be at Corona's? Nah, Corona doesn't like her. That's it's not the case at all. Saya's always quiet.
あの子がいないと私が静かになるもん。
She said this unhappily. Since the other night, Hikari sometimes looked lost in thought. Maybe it's because of the project, but I knew it was because of what Saya had said. Don't worry about it so much. She just said it because she was angry. But it bothers her a lot. Hikari still looked troubled as she answered. It seems Saya had been to school today as well. If I waited by her school gates for classes to end, I could probably see her, but it wouldn't be wise. Saya had been warned about her activities outside of school. If I was seen waiting outside her school, it might make her situation worse. I mean, maybe it's just like the school system here in the Netherlands that I've just been grown up with, right? But like, no school here is ever this strict that they like, if you can do whatever you want outside of school, as long as it's not something illegal or connected to the school in any way. The school won't meddle with your activities outside of school. Maybe it's just, I mean, she's Seizen, right? Seizen Girls Academy is where Saya goes. Maybe because that's just a much stricter school. Even maybe that's just normally not the case with most schools in Japan, but Seizen is a special case. I don't know. To me, that just seems entirely strange, but that's probably just because of the standard of school here, so I'm not used to anything else. And it was Saya we were talking about. She was probably expecting something like that. She would likely leave school as soon as class ended, so I wouldn't make it unless I skipped my last class.
Akito, そろそろ時間だよ。
You're right. Sorry, Honoka. We're going to Saya's house now.
わかりました。
We had told her about it earlier. Hinami, make sure to close up.
了解であります部長。
Doesn't it sound good to actually be called president? Oh yeah, I love it. Hikari and I left Honoka and Hinami behind and left the room. I'm sorry. This is my fault. As I bowed in apology, Saya's mother tilted her head with a troubled expression. I heard that there was some trouble at school because we started dating.
待って。
Saya's mother blinked and looked at Hikari and I. Wait, are you telling me that... Wait, is it actually true? Do you have an objection to me and Hikari, or to me and Saya dating? Or are you going to tell me right now that, like, what? I didn't even know you were dating. And that Saya made it all up. What?
さやがお付き合いしているのって、アキトくんだったの？
Oh, she didn't know that it was me? Okay, she just said she was dating someone. Yes, that's right. Oh, then her mom is like, oh, then it's fine, then it's okay. Yeah, I'll just call her right now. I'll apologize. Saya, come back home. If Akito is your boyfriend, I don't mind. Her mom looked shocked, but also seemed to understand.
ごめんなさい。私勘違いをしていたわ。
So now you had it wrong? Now you're okay with it? What do you mean?
だって、アキトくんはひかりちゃんと。
What?
私？
What? Hikari was surprised by her name so suddenly and pointed at herself, her face looking puzzled. Then she shook her head and hands furiously.
違います。アキトの彼女はさやです。
Wait, so Saya's mom thought that me and Hikari were dating?
そうだったのね。それであの子、あんなに怒って。
I am so confused. Why would Saya's mom think that? Her face looked like she finally understood, and then she put her hands to her forehead as if she had a headache.
じゃあママはさやがアキトじゃないどっかの誰かと付き合ってるって思ってたの？
Oh, could it be that? Her mom thought that me and Hikari were dating? Her mom would probably then know that Saya likes me, right? And maybe she then thought like, oh, Saya is disappointed and sad that Akito is dating Hikari, and is therefore, as a measure of like coping with the fact that you know, her heart is kind of broken because I'm dating Hikari, that Saya then just goes out and dates some random guy? Was that her mother's worry?
学校の先生からよその学校に出入りしたり、夜中に出かけて何かしているって聞いて。ほら、この前もそういうことがあったじゃない？
What? Where are you walking at this hour?
星のダムのあたりかな。
Yeah? Saya had gone somewhere in the middle of the night. Neither Hikari or I knew where she was going, and of course, neither did her mother. But it's still the same. It's all because she came to our school, and the rumor
おでん
started.
を持って行ってたんでしょ？
Uh-huh. The delicious Oden. Yes.
そのおでんを作ったのは私なのよ。それに、アキト君とは幼馴染だもの。別に構わないわ。
So Saya's mom had been angry because she thought Saya was going around with somebody she didn't know. Saya usually had food her mom made with her when she came to see me. She probably felt much safer knowing her daughter wasn't sneaking around. So she didn't like the fact that she was sneaking around with some other guy that she didn't know. But because it's someone she knows, me, then it's fine? Even if it's still sneaking around? Saya's mother, looking relieved, sat down on the side of the bed.
別に学校へ呼び出されたせいで怒ったわけじゃないの。あの子が私のようになったらどうしようって。
What are you trying to say?
が心配だったのよ。
What, turn out like me? What are you trying to say with that?
あの子を思い詰めると本当に一途になるから。それはいい結果ばかりを生むとは限らないわ。誰かを好きになりすぎてバランスを崩してしまうことだってある。
Why do I have a feeling that, like, does this have to do with, like, Saya's father? Maybe the mom and dad got into, like, a relationship early and she got pregnant early, and then that's been Saya, and it was kind of unplanned and stuff, I don't know? She said that much, but then shook her head as if to banish her thoughts.
なんてのはただの言い訳ね。あの子は私とは違うのに。
She sighed as she spoke. Her words conveyed the harshness of being an adult. It was like it was a little hard to bear. Back when Saya had changed schools, there had been a rumor. People had said that Saya's mother had run away, but came back to the village in the end. It's a small village, so the rumor spread, and some people said it insultingly. I didn't know the truth, and I didn't want to. this Saya's mother that I knew was a nice woman who did her best to raise her daughter in that village. And Saya was a good daughter. I mean, we've never seen Saya's father, right? So what exactly happened with that? When Saya changed schools, there had been a rumor. What, that like her mom's a whore or some shit like that? That was all I needed to know.
ごめんなさい。変な話を聞かせてしまって。分かってるのよ。あの子が勉強を頑張っていい子でいるのは私のためだって。実際すごく助けられているのよ。
If Saya was good, the prejudices of the old ladies in the neighborhood would fade. Thanks to Saya's effort, there was now no one who spoke badly of Saya's mother.
そのせいで無理をさせてるんだとしたら。それは大丈夫なんじゃないかな。
That sucks though. We're like all the judgmental bitches judging Saya's mom without even knowing shit. They just assume like, oh, a single mother, or like a mother without the dad there that's only raising her only daughter. Oh, I wonder what could be going on with there. And then like, people make up shit, they gossip. Hikari continued as she thought.
あの子頑張ってるけど無理してる感じじゃないです。ねえ、アキト。
Yeah, I agree.
それに結構好きなこともやってるし、通い妻とかね。
Hey. Hikari said this while smiling teasingly. Hey, Hikari!
通い妻?
Well, do we have to explain that? I'm sorry. She got that nickname because she brought Odin to her school so many times. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Saya's mom burst out laughing.
やっぱり私に似ちゃったのかしら。
She is, but that's supposed to be a bad thing though, right?
一途で頑固なところは私以上ね。きっと。
I'm sorry. As I bowed my head again, Hikari grinned and poked me in the side.
よかったじゃん。ママ公認だよ。
I mean, that's usually a good thing, yeah, when your girlfriend's parents approve of you, sure. That's definitely a plus. Makes things a lot easier. Shut up. Watching us, Saya's mom smiled kindly.
あなたたちがあの子の友達になってくれて本当に良かったわ。三日月村へ来る前はあの子よく仲間外れにされていたみたいだったから。
Yeah, probably because of her eyes too, right?
転校先でもいじめられたらどうしようってずっと心配だったのよ。
Mama. She just said mama. Saya's mom was closer to us than just our friend's mom. Probably because she felt that way
あんな子
too.
だけどこれからもよろしくね。ひかりちゃん。
Of course.
アキトくん。
We would never think about abandoning her or anything like that. Not being friends
もちろんだよ
anymore.
ママ。
Mama. She's like our mom. We certainly will. She still hadn't made up with her daughter, and she didn't know where Saya was sleeping, but the understanding seemed to relieve her. But there was one more mystery to solve. That's why we were here today. Also, Miss Amanogawa.
ああ、そうだったわね。どうぞ好きに見てちょうだい。あなたたちにならあの子も怒らないでしょう。
We're gonna search her room? Thank you very much. We found what we were looking for right
あ
away.
れじゃない？
Hikari picked up a tote bag off a shelf. It was the bag Saya had when she was walking alone at night. She didn't want to let anyone see inside. Oh, right.
ママ、中見ちゃうね。
We think that the reason Saya walks alone at night might be inside. Neither Hikari or I knew what was inside, or had any guess. I opened the tote bag, prepared for some terrible secret to fly out. Alright, I'm ready. What is it? There were 3 notebooks inside. Oh my god, wait, really? Has Saya actually been keeping track? Did she actually make like a planetary observation journal all of her own? Did she really do that? That's something that actually makes sense to me. She went to the dam. The dam is in that general area where you would look at the stars. She's got notebooks, right? Like, what else would you be doing there? To just go out at night to write down your observations, right? Oh my god, Saya. Also inside were writing utensils, a flashlight covered in red cellophane, as well as earmuffs and gloves for winter. Hikari opened the notebook. Looks like sketches. She still kept it. I didn't know what the drawings were at first. There were many dots written on the light graph pattern. There were small dots, large dots, and hazy dots. Other than that, there were azimuth points, what looked like the silhouette of a mountain range, and weather records written periodically. Yep. I realized I recognized the position of the dots. They were stars. These are sketches of the stars. Hikari flipped through the notebook.
全部のページに同じようなスケッチが書いてある。この一冊だけじゃないよ。こっちのノートも。
Saya had been doing all this even when we didn't anymore. The more we turned the pages, the more we were amazed. It was an unmistakable stargazing record. Also,
5年分ある。
5 years, so she kept this up all the time by her own. Holy shit. Wow. So ever since remember when we did it for like 1 year together, all three of us, for that project? Even after that, she still did this on her own. After Hikari left, she still did this on her own. After me and Saya, like, you know, kind of lost contact for a couple of years, she was still doing this. And then still up until this very day, she was still doing it. I mean, I guess she missed the last 2 days because she didn't have it with her, but holy shit. Hikari whispered this after opening the first page of the oldest notebook. But why? Is she... Because I never really got the feeling that Saya was that passionate about stargazing and everything herself. So why would she still keep this up without us? I don't know. But this means that Saya was drawing these when she was out alone at night. At a pace of once a week, or 4 or 5 years. Ah, okay. So she did this once a week for 5 years. I thought she did this like almost every single day, but still, once a week for 5 years. That's a lot of that's still a lot of dedication. Okay, how many weeks are there in a year? I think like 52. I think, I'm not entirely sure. Fuck, I used to know that number. How have I forgotten it? But yeah, like if we let's go with the assumption it's 52, right? So 250 weeks, 250 times. Notes recording her stargazing, and this is kind of coincidentally, right? But this is kind of what we've been looking for as well, in terms of our as our proof to show to the harbor town, to try and convince them. What for? Why did she do this by herself? We had solved the mystery of Naya's night walks, only to discover an even bigger mystery. Or so it would seem. Yeah, it's exactly what we were looking for. But more than anything, we couldn't believe what we were seeing. As we turned through the pages, I almost forgot to breathe.
そのノートがどうかしたの？これ、星空のスケッチです。さやはこれを描くために夜中一人で出歩いてたんだよ。
Did she come... I know this is gonna sound ridiculous, right? I don't even mean it seriously, but did she come from like the future? Like, did she know that we were gonna need these right now, right? And she went back into the past. Oh, I'm gonna keep a record of this for you guys. Like, it just sounds too good to be true, right? This is exactly what we were looking for, and she got this somehow. She did this all on her own for 5 years, as if she knew at some point, ah, you guys are gonna use it. I mean, I even said it, right? It's like, hey, keeping records is an important part, I didn't think it was actually going to be relevant to the story, though. Damn.
星空のスケッチ。
We could barely comprehend it, and for Saya's mother, who didn't know much about astronomy, it must have been really hard to understand. But it was definitely evidence she wasn't doing anything shady. I mean, come on. Saya was Saya, as always. Exactly, come on. I can't even imagine doing that girl anything shady related. Like, can you imagine her with like a joint in her mouth? Of course not. There might be something else. I looked around Saya's desk. There were astronomy books stacked on top of reference books she used for study. As I made to grab them, I noticed something under the book. This is... the charm? Oh, the letter. Wait, what? Oh, it's a love letter Saya wrote me. She was still keeping it.
ごめんなさい。そろそろ私仕事に戻らないと。
Saya's mom said this, looking at the clock. She had come back to the house on her break for us. Wow. Sorry to trouble you.
これ借りてっていいですか？ええ。ひかりちゃんたちならいいと思うわ。これがあればハーバータウンを説得できる。ね、アキト。
We should kinda ask permission of Saya though, right? Yeah. I replaced the love letter as I answered. As I picked up the astronomy books on top, there was one more thing I noticed. What the?
どうしたの?
Oh no, it's nothing, dude. What did you find? We took Saya's sketches and left the room. Dude, don't do that! Don't do like, what the? Oh no, it's nothing, and then leave. What? Dude, no! What? What was it?
お守りなんだよね。
Or did we actually see the charm there, and now they're looking for nothing?
赤い色してる。ないね。
I'm guessing we find the charm. That's probably the thing that makes the most sense. It was after school the next day, and I was searching for my lost charm. Corona had come to help me look, but so far we hadn't found anything.
本当にここで落としたの？間違いないと思う。でもこの道のどこかまでは。いいんだよ、付き合ってくれなくても。私一人で探すから。大切なものなんでしょ。じゃあ手伝うしかないじゃん。ああ、部活休んじゃったよ。今日は秋にんとこでやるはずだったのに。
Corona helped me search as she voiced her complaints.
プロジェクトスターライト、うまくいってないの？そうみたい。ピカリンたちが難しい話してて、よくわかんないんだけどね。
God damn, you weren't paying attention, Corona?
ハーバータウンのツリーを消してもらえないかもって。それでみんなで昔の資料とか探してるんだ。そう。
I felt guilty that I wasn't helping out.
光たちの足を引っ張っちゃってる。
That's not true. It turns out you actually have the answer for us, Saya.
本当だよ。このままだとプロジェクトうまくいかなくなっちゃうかも。そしたらコロナたちどうなっちゃうのかな。星空が曇っちゃうね。
I muttered to myself as I waded through the bushes. A dark memory played over in my mind. Oh, when it ripped. Did that hurt her that much?
どうしたの?
I mean, it meant a lot to her, right? She's had a troubled childhood, and then sort of like when she finally found friends, they found an activity that they loved doing together. And then it just kind of sort of ended in a bad way. Could that be the reason? Is that the reason why she still is still keeping records of it? After all this time? Because we ripped it back then? I felt like I was going to be ripped apart like the journal was that day. So I pushed the memory from my mind.
ねえ、前から聞きたかったんだけどさ。あんた、なんで星を見てるの？なんでって？本当に星が好きなの？アキ兄のことが好きだから一緒にいただけじゃないの？
I mean, at first I thought it was the second one, right? That she was just doing it because, hey, Hikari and me were doing it and she just liked being friends with us. So she just, like I said, she was just kind of chasing after us, you know? Just doing it because we were doing it. But the fact that she was keeping records of it for so long still all on her own. Corona asked sullenly.
そうかもしれない。
Maybe? To which one?
やっぱりそうなんだ。
Corona huffed.
だからコロナちゃんは私に突っかかってきてたの？まあね、そんなところだよ。コロナには全てお見通しだったからね。
Corona would always pick fights with me but I never really hated her. I don't know why, but I sometimes find something congenial with her.
私ね、昔いじめられてたんだ。
Aww.
そうなの？この目のせいでね、みんなと違うからってからかわれたり、仲間外れにされてた。
Yeah. I heard that my eyes are different colors because my grandmother was from Northern Europe. The grandma on my dad's side. I never met her, but I already had a bad impression of her. She was the one who gave me these eyes I hated so much.
初めてあっくんと会った日にいきなり目のことを言われて、私泣いちゃった。
I guess because like part of the reason why she maybe likes Aki is because we turned something that she used to hate so much into something that now she actually likes about herself, right? Or at least doesn't mind anymore, her eyes. They look like Alberio. And she thinks like, oh no, he insulted me. Your eyes look like Alberio. Aww. We weren't bullying you, Saya. I wasn't bullying you. I still feel guilty.
ああ、知ってるそれ。お兄ちゃんが言ってた。アキ兄がいきなり転校生を泣かせたって。
Hey.
でも、あっくんは意地悪で言ったんじゃなかったんだ。
He had said that they were beautiful like the double stars, Alberio. That must have been the first thing that he had thought when he had seen them.
それで光と二人で天体観測会を開いてくれて、見せてくれたの。冬のアルビレオを。
It was my most precious memory, but Corona seemed unmoved. You don't get it, Corona? She looked bored by it. Yeah, you weren't there, I remember. Your parents wouldn't let you.
光とあっくんは私を仲間に入れてくれて、それで一緒に星を見るようになった。だから星が好きなのか、二人のことが好きなのか、今でもよくわかんないよ。
I mean, I feel like it's gotta be sort of like a combination of two, right? She must like stargazing to some degree. Because, I mean, it could be just because of the two of them, but still, I feel like because of the reference that Aki made right back then, like, oh, your eyes look like Alberio. It just made her both like the stars and her eyes. Corona was nodding.
星を見ないアキ兄もピカリンも想像つかないもんね。
If I was friends with them, then it made sense that I would also be into stargazing. But
あっくんは昔星を見ない天文部員だったんだよね。
so what? You looked at the stars for me, Saya?
そういやそうだね。なんで見なくなっちゃったんだっけ？ピカリンが引っ越してっちゃったから？きっと私のせい。
Your fault?
そうなの？うん。
Why? Why would it be Saya's fault? Corona looked at me like she was confused, but I pretended not to notice and kept searching. I was sure that Hikari was desperately trying to fix what I had destroyed. I had done it again.
お守りをなくしたのはきっと罰が当たったんだ。
What?
やっぱり捨てなきゃダメなんだ。この気持ちを。
I was starting to believe that I would never find my charm, no matter how hard I looked. What do you mean, deserve? Hikari let out a long sigh after she had finished reading Saya's notebook.
すごいね、このノート。
I was looking at them as well and nodded. There was 5 years worth of night sketches. It was a colossal amount of data that had been gathered at least once a week when the weather had been good. It was the fruit of a tremendous amount of hard work.
どうしてさやはこんなスケッチをつけてたんだろう。
I checked the earliest date on the sketches. She started about half a year after you moved. That's about when we became estranged. We weren't talking to each other back then. It was around that time that they had begun construction on the dam and had been relocating the people in Mikazuki village. Oh! Could it be because she was kind of alone then, right? She was kind of alone then? Like, me and her were estranged, Hikari moved away, so every one of us was sort of separate. But obviously, it means a lot to her, right? That she actually managed to get friends and do the astronomy thing together. It meant a lot to Saya. So maybe in sort of an indirect way to feel still connected to us, she would just keep stargazing. She would just keep it up because it's an activity that we all three did together, right? And if she continues to do it, it's like if she looks at the stars, it's like, I don't know, it's just something so far away, right? You could think that like maybe somewhere's Hikari's looking up at the stars right now too, and you just feel that connection. Did she like the stars so much that she began to draw them by herself? Saying that out loud made me realize how unrealistic it seemed. Or maybe she was like lonely, and then also that then she felt like she was closer to us while watching the stars. So why would she draw the stars? Moreover, what was the purpose of making all these records? I just couldn't understand her reasons. Yeah, but that, like, all the kind of speculations that I made before, those are reasons for, like, watching the stars. Not necessarily for keeping these recordings and documents.
これつい最近の分もあるよね。まだ続けてるってことでしょ。どうして私たちに言わなかったんだろう。
I have no clue. Maybe because there wasn't a reason to. Maybe she just didn't want to tell us.
わかんないよ。親友のことなのに全然わかんない。
I'm still very curious and a little worried, a little bit. But at least I'm very relieved as well, right? Because I thought, like, I don't know, somehow like the innocent Saya would be up to no good, right? With her secret. But it turned out that her secret, at least it doesn't seem to be like anything bad or harmful. Like, it's not even that, like, wow, I'm not that shocked by it or something, right? It's just more, it's a surprise, but not like, oh my god, like a bad, you know how you're sometimes shocked in a bad way? This is more like wait, what? This is very surprising. Hikari looked a little sad as she said this. We were talking at the counter, and Miss Miharu came over and peeked over our shoulders. What do you mean bland? Yes. She recognizes obviously the drawings from the documents. Miss Miharu looked dubiously at the journals. I don't know why these were recorded. They might be able to change Harbor Town's opinion. He seemed like a nice person, but I felt like he might not be so reliable, and he didn't know anything about astronomy. Could he really make good use of Saya's technical records? Sure. Do you have connections too? What do you mean? She looked as if she was starting to regret talking about it. What, is it like a shameful ex-boyfriend or something? Who is this friend? Do they know anything about astronomy? Then let's do it.
お願いします、先生。でもこれしばらく預かることになるわよ。コピーでもいいけど手書きの方が断然説得力あるし。
I mean, as long as we get them back at the end, sure.
それはまずいですよね。
No matter the cause, this was Saya's hard work, and we couldn't just give it to someone without asking her permission first. Oh yeah, for sure. Besides, We don't even know why she made these observations. Well, let's go and ask Saya.
そうだね。
She was still going to school, so it just might be possible. Then I got a message on my phone. Who is it? I was surprised when I saw the screen. Saya Amanogawa. It's from Saya!
何？なんて書いてるの？
Let me see. Hikari leaned forward and peeked at my phone. Saya's words were right there on the screen.
もうあっくんと一緒にはいられない。
She's breaking up with me? But I mean, she said that, like, if I don't find this charm, I can't be with Aki anymore. But I don't know why. How is the charm related to us?
二人にはずっと星を見ててほしいから。何？どういうこと？
Hikari was looking at me, hoping for an answer. I had no clue. I just knew that this was a farewell message. Farewell? Elementary. It was nearly at the end of February. It was nearly springtime, but the cold still felt like it was the middle of winter. The girls were camped around a heater as Sai and I were alone, not too far from them.
今日も寒いね。本当だね。
Yeah, goddamn the winter. The boys were energetic. They were fighting with fake swords made of rolled up newspapers in the back of the room.
行くぞ、秋田！
Hey, I mean, me too? Oh shit. Don't think that you can beat me. Akito had been hanging out with Take quite a lot recently. I was watching them in the corner of my eye as I thought about how graduation was upon us. So this is from Hikari's perspective, I think, right? It was normal for children not to talk to each other for a while after a fight. I thought it was the same with Akito and me. Ah, this is after, probably right after they got into that argument where they ripped up the observation journal in half. But I would be moving right after graduation. If that happened, Akito and I would never be friends again.
さや、あれどうした？
Saya was fidgeting as she blushed. She grabbed my sleeve and dragged me behind the curtain.
何？
What do you got for us?
一応書けたんだけど。
She wrote something?
おお。
Oh!
一応っていうか、めっちゃちゃんとしてんじゃん。
The letter! She wrote that love letter now.
これね、お気に入りの封筒。
Aww, this makes it even sadder that we, like, you know, never read it, never opened it and let her wait outside. Oh.
うさぎのシール、かわいい。とっておきのシール貼ったんだ。
For a special occasion.
あとはこれを渡すだけだね。
I looked past the curtain to the back of the classroom after I said that. How's that, Take?
くそつえ。こうなったら奥の手だ。
Saya grabbed her chest as if she was having a heart attack. What's wrong?
無理。
That was kind of dramatic, like, okay, I'm gonna die.
なんで渡すために書いたんでしょ？
Saya looked pale. She was beyond embarrassment.
何度か渡してみようとしたんだけど、やっぱりできなかったんだ。
Oh, really? She actually had the letter for a while, and like, she's always had it in her pocket, and her hand inside her pocket holding the letter, but she could never, like, take it out and like, here it is for you, Akito!
怖くて声かけられなくなっちゃう。なんでよ。私と違ってさやはアキトと喧嘩してないじゃん。だって書くだけでも手が震えて緊張したのに、渡すなんて絶対無理だよ。死んじゃうよ。
She would literally die on the spot. The moment he accepts the letter, she would just flat fall on the ground, dead.
平気だって。人間その程度で死なないから。
As far as we know.
光は私の心臓が今どうなってるか知らないから言えるんだよ。
Saya said pathetically. With her face like that, it looked like she really might die.
分かった。じゃあその手紙 私が渡してあげるよ。本当？いいの？うん。
Akito and I weren't speaking to each other, but that shouldn't stop me from being able to give him a letter. I had thoughts.
ありがとう、ひかり。
Saya was really cute handing me her precious love letter with tears of happiness. She was my dear friend and someone who I looked up to. I'm sure that if I had been born a cute girl like Saya, then I would be able to fall in love too. What do you mean? Holding on to those thoughts, I took the envelope with the rabbit sticker. She thinks, I'm not born cute, therefore I can't fall in love? What? But it took about a month for me to give Akito that letter. Knowing that it was a love letter made it so much harder to deliver. It wasn't just like delivering homework to a classmate who was sick. It was a letter filled with feelings from one important friend to another. In the end, I only just managed to give him the letter as I was going home from graduation. But all this time, I never told him who the letter was from. Akito never knew. Which is why it's completely understandable from his perspective that he misunderstood, right? And if you haven't spoken to someone for a long time and you've been fighting and they, right before they leave the city, right? They hand you a letter, your first assumption is definitely, oh, that's from them. That's from them. They're not like, oh, that's gotta be a love letter from the other friend. The rabbit sticker had sealed that letter for the last 4 years. That's a strong, strong sticker.
もう、あっくんと一緒にはいられない。二人にはずっと星を見ててほしいから。
Why did she say that? What's gotten into Saya? I immediately messaged Saya, but she still hadn't messaged me. The message had been marked as delivered, but I didn't know if she had actually read the message or not.
さやはママが誤解してたこと知らないから、それで思い詰めちゃったんじゃないかな。多分そうだよ。ちゃんと話せばすぐ元通りだって。
Hopefully. In a cheerful voice, Hikari smacked my back several times. Yeah, I returned to my thoughts. I had thought the same thing as Hikari at first, but the more I thought about it, there was definitely something else going on here. Besides... It's like she's been pondering over something ever since the Stargazing event. I had realized something was up with Saya, but I had been either too busy, or I had tried to put it off and I missed it. Maybe that was the cause. If I only had really listened to her. I looked at the starry sketches on the table. I thought I knew everything about Saya, but I really didn't know a single thing. We've been friends for so long. I wanted to know about her, but somehow, I'd never gotten to know her deeply. Kotaru? Okay, that's Corona. For a second I thought it was Saya, cause, you know, Kotaro only gets that excited about one person. I heard Kotaro barking and thought that Saya had come to visit, but I was wrong. I could see someone's shadow through the window. Uh-huh. Maybe Kotaru smells Saya on Corona, which is why Kotaru is so excited. Aw. Oh, you made him angry. Kotaru angry. Bow down to your doggy overlord. Yoink. Hikari grabbed him by the head and he finally quieted down. Whew. Gah. It's okay, you won, okay, Kotaro? Corona finally calmed down after Hikari forcefully dragged Kotaro to his doghouse. This is rare, Corona. Corona looked at us and instantly began to cry. Is she gonna spill the beans? Corona noticed that Hikari was sincerely worried, and she held on to her tightly. Huh? It looked like it was too hard for her to talk about it outside, So I had Miss Miharu handle the store as I brought Hikari and Corona to my room. Here, have some warm cocoa.
ありがとう、アキニ。
Of course. Luda cocoa is the best. Corona calmed down quite a bit after warming up with the cocoa.
それで何があったの？
The cocoa.
タケにいじめられた？
Corona was holding the cup of cocoa with both hands as she shook her head. I feel she's come to sort of ask for help, right? Regarding Saya. It sure seemed like she had something to say, but still, she was hesitating to tell
黙っ
us.
てちゃ何もしてあげられないよ。
Hikari was trying to act like a calm older sister. Looking down in deep thought, Corona looked really miserable.
コロナじゃ手に負えないよ。ねえピカリ、あの人引き取りに来て。は？何？え？どういうこと？
Who? We had no idea what she was talking about.
ケンちゃん。先輩だよ。
How do we know? You're like the least person that we expect Saya to be hiding. She slammed the table in a show of dominance like there wasn't anyone else she could be talking about. And we just stood there like fools.
サヤ、あんたのところにいるの？
Corona just gave a big nod. Hikari's mouth was wide open, and I was laughing. That's Saya for you. We had never thought that she would go to Corona's place, but that had been just what we thought, so we hadn't even bothered to ask.
レンタル DVD 屋で偶然会って止めてくれって言われて。
I mean, yeah, it was mostly coincidence, right?
事情はよくわかんなかったけど、でもコロナがダメって言ったらもう行くところないって言うから、そしたら大変じゃん。夜の街を徘徊して不良になって。
The link really? Like, they're trying to pay... Is that... Maybe that's just a Japanese cultural thing or something? But I feel like walking around at night, they're making it sound like the act of walking alone outside is so bad that you're just like, you gotta be a bad person if you're walking around at night. Like, nobody does that, okay? If you're walking around alone at night, you gotta be up to some shady bad stuff. Corona held her head in bewilderment.
そんなことになったら、コロナはでっかい十字架を背負って残りの人生を生きることになるんだ。
But Take didn't seem like he knew anything.
お兄ちゃんには秘密にしてたの。絶対気づかれないようにしてた。バレたらアキ兄に行っちゃうから。
I see.
それでしばらくうちに泊めてあげてたんだけど、なんかどんどん深刻そうな感じになってくし、黙って静かにしてたと思ったら急に涙ぐむし。
Aww.
もうコロナじゃ手に負えないよ。
Corona clung to Hikari.
よしよし、大変だったんだね。それであの子今どうしてんの？部屋にいる。なんか大切なものをなくしたって言って、それからずっと塞ぎ込んでる。大切なものって？わかんない。お守りだって言ってたけど。
We remember, right, Akito?
何それ？アキト知ってる？
She showed us a charm. Yep, that's the one. What is that?
私のお守り。
But it can't have been a gift from us, right? Like, exactly, we're asking her what it is. If we gave it to her, we already knew what it was.
これはね、私が絶対なくしたくないものなの。
So, this is, yeah, I'm trying to figure out, like, I thought at first, like, it has to be connected to us in some way, right? Because why else would Saya break up with us over having lost this? Because the reasoning was if I don't find it back or if I don't have it, then I don't know if she said deserve, but it's like then I can't be with Akito. She definitely said something along those lines. Like, I don't understand the reasoning. I understand it's a lucky charm, but like, oh, if I don't have this, I can't be in a relationship? How does that work? What? Oh. Maybe it's the one thing that she got from her father or something somehow? I don't know. Like, she seems to have sort of a... Her family kind of is bit unorthodox as well, right? In the sense that her mother moved here when she was still little, away from the father, I think, or something. Like, we don't even know much about her father, if anything. And it definitely seems to sound like a broken family in that sense, right? So, yeah, it could be something with that, that she just... That's the one thing she has about her father, even though she's never met him, or it's been so long since she met him. It's still something she wants to hold on to. I don't know. The charm had looked really important to her, but she also had been kind of embarrassed by it, so she had hidden it in her hand. I think I've seen her with something like that before, but I don't really know about it too much. That had been the first time I had learned about her charm. Just what kind of charm was it?
なんかね、すごく大切なものなんだって言ってた。コロナも一緒に探したんだけど見つからなくて、そしたらあれがないと、もうアキ兄と会えないんだって。アキト。
Yeah, I remember the message that she just sent me. Was she trying to say that she couldn't see me without that charm? But what kind of connection did I have with that charm exactly?
何か特別な願掛けでもしてたのかな?
Yeah, but then she, I mean, in Japan they do that, right? Where just sort of like, I don't know for which particular holidays or whatever, but like for example with New Year's or something, like sometimes they'll go to the shrine to make a wish there, right? And those sorts of things, right? But like maybe she's done something like that with the charm, and there's like indeed a special prayer on it. But like, I mean, sure, there's some people who really deeply believe in that, but I just kind of see it as superstition, right? It's like, I can understand it meaning much to her, sure, but I don't know, it's like that she physically can't do it without that thing. I don't know. I'm just not a superstitious person, so I don't know. Anyway, we know where Saya is now. I stopped Hikari from standing up. First, let's tell Saya's mother. We could decide what to do after that. Yeah, we should get her mother to calm down, be aware of the situation. Uh-oh. Hikari groaned as she looked at the time on her phone. Just mention commuter wife, everybody knows her. Hikari relaxed as we waited for the train outside the ticket gates. We had gone to tell Saya's mother where she was. Her mother said that as long as Saya was safe, that we didn't have to force her to go back home. She looked at me as if to ask if that was okay with me. In her hands were the night sketches that Saya drew. Yeah, I'd appreciate that. We needed to ask Saya if it was okay to use her sketches to help negotiate with Harbor Town, but Saya had said that she wouldn't see me, because she had lost something important. Going to see her while knowing that would be disrespecting her wishes. Nope, not a thing. I don't know, but I'm sure that she wouldn't tell us, even if we asked. She can be, sure, yeah. Saya was an honest person, but when she'd start thinking about something, she just wouldn't let it go. Saya was just that kind of girl. But I think it has something to do with me. I'll think about it. I decided that I wanted to learn about the hidden side of Saya. The side of Saya as a girl. And Hikari looked down at the night sketches in her hand. The train's here. Be careful. Yeah, good night. Hikari waved her hand and went through the ticket gates. Well then. Back at the store, Miss Miharu was manning the counter. Maybe I should walk Kotaro first. Miss Miharu looked bored with her chin in her hands. It looked like she didn't want to be bothered, so I just waved my hand. Like, bye-bye. Let's go, Kotaro. Kotaro was wagging his tail crazily as I got his leash ready and took him for a night walk. Well, Kotaro? Are we like trying to look for it? Sticking his nose in the bush, smelling around, Kotaro looked up to me apologetically. Not here either, huh? So, I'm guessing we got the information from Corona where Saya thought she lost the charm, and we're looking there too now. Because yeah, this is the same place where Saya looked. Corona had said that Saya lost her charm around here. I was relying on Kotaro's nose to find Saya's lost charm, but it didn't seem like it would be that easy. It has Saya's scent. You know her. You love her. Come on, you should know this, Kotaro. Okay, I'm trusting you, boy. Let that powerful dog nose do its work. Kotaro would always smell every little thing during our normal walks. I tried looking around with a flashlight in places that Kotaro couldn't reach, but we didn't find it. It'd be better to look in the daylight. I tried to think about what kind of charm she had. It was probably from the shrine behind the mountain. They had charms for things like good luck, safe travels, or safe childbirth. If only we could read Japanese, we could probably read those two characters. Safe childbirth. Wait, are you saying that's called safe childbirth? No, wait a minute. Saya's charm probably wasn't just one of the normal ones. It had to be more important than that. Maybe she had gotten it from somebody. We had asked Saya's mom about it too, but she didn't know either. I tried to remember if I gave it to her, but I don't remember ever buying a charm before. I don't really understand Saya's feelings at all. As a longtime friend, and as her boyfriend. I wanted to cry. It was so pathetic. Yeah, you feel as a boyfriend too. No, I'm kidding. I mean, sometimes it's hard to try and understand a person's feelings, especially if they're not really that willing to open up.